Hello, hello, Rhoda here. Welcome to my craft room. Today we're doing a flip through of this little journal. I don't even know what to call it. It has a Rach and Bella Creations digital in it. I think it's Grungy Essentials. And so it had some brown elements in the kit. So I didn't want this black to be seen on the cover, as you can see here on the edge. So I took some tea bag. I've got tons and tons of tea bag. So I Mod Podged it all around the outside edges, as you can see. Kind of gave it a wood grain design. And then Mom gave me this curtain. So I've got this curtain design. I'm trying to pick a hair off of it. And then I did a little sanding block and I sanded the edges just because some of them I left hanging over and I had to trim them. So then Mom gave me this little pin. I had to take the pin back off of it so I could get it to lay flat on there. She'd given me hats a while back that had these kind of embroidery trims on it that I ripped off. And then it has one trim here that's got the pearls and the dangles. This is like a piece of sheer lace. And then it has a little bit of tulle under it that came off of one of those hats as well. And then I'd shown it on my Rhoda's Junk page, and I've decided to come back in and put buttons. So you can see some random buttons in there to kind of give it some interest. And I see that Lori B, Grungy Girl Lori B. I see a lot of her stuff, and it's kind of she inspired me to make this because it's sort of her style. Okay, so let's get on in here. And it's, I think it was like 1.25 inches. I did kind of a different type of spine than I did on the previous book that I made, the school journal. The other one I made like a cloth design, and it kind of, I felt like it moved around more. And I just went through my stash and I found things that I had made already. These were some of those silverware pocket baggy things. I try to pick things with lace on it. I just made a tiny, tiny little tag to go down in that pocket, and just a plain tag with music on it. And I kind of just scuffed around. The background has Wish, and that goes in there. And when I put this spine in, it's sort of a hidden spine because I sewed the two signatures to it. I glued the whole panel over here on the left and the back. You can see where I reinforced it with washi, and I put some lace on there. This was a beautiful kit. It had like grungy elements and bird cages and hearts, and it's just gorgeous. So I couldn't have picked a better one to go with this whole thing. Over here is one of the pockets. This, I think, came from a jewel design. It was a freebie she gave us one time. But I must have printed it wrong. And I don't know if you saw my previous video where I had shown this. And it was a big white spot there where I had done it this way instead of that way. Well, I covered it. I just covered it with some lace. There was one of my pockets I made. This was just from some Tim Holtz stuff. And there's plenty of journaling in this kit, or this journal. This has like a little I got glue on me. I've been doing paper bag journals. I got a little diamond there and a key and some kind of little dangly thing. And this was the window part of an envelope, and I just kind of tucked it there. I wanted a little something to dangle out of it. This was my wrinkled paper I made not long ago. It had a hint of blushy pink, so it went really well with this page. I did some stamping. This is my, from the deck where I can see the nails and the impression of the wood. Stamped a little butterfly. Some of these I think were from my porch prints. That may have been it. I did have an envelope that was sort of grungy looking with the same browns. So I fit it in here. I had some music on it and a butterfly and then some doily that kind of looks like lace. And it's got sending butterfly wishes on it. And when you flip it, you have a really big journal card that comes out of it. And you can write on this side and you can write on that side. I did put a map from, I think it's Uncharted. It's a little book you can get at Hobby Lobby. And over here it has sending happy thoughts. And I did rip every one of the pages. I went and I got in here and I just ripped. My thumb was sore for a couple days after I did that. Let me move this up some. And see, you got a beautiful rose on this page. And some yellow elements are in here as well, which is fine. I went with it. This was some kind of a leftover pieces that I had one time. So I made a tuck out of it, or a pocket or something. It's got one back there, one here, one here. I'm hitting, so, oh, I was hitting, that's what I was hitting. I need to glue that. But there's one here, and there's a tuck there, and a tuck there, so you had a tuck everywhere. Okay, I fixed that where that was loose, so we're going to put that back down in here. I like where you can see that old world movie star sticking out of it. And then I've added lace on some of my edges. Now, here I got a little messy, so you could see the fabric tack was just usually shiny. So I covered it with this little piece of gold trim. And it did the trick. Here I did a little stamp of a bird or two birds. And this was like a music page, and I can't remember if that was a freebie from Tracy Fox. I think it was. You'll see the other side of it here in a minute, but then that's part of the Rach and Bella kit. I also had made pockets that same day when I was making that tag, so I'll put that here. I picked out those elements of color, and I had this tag that I thought went really well with it. So I stuck that in here. It went really well with the pocket as well. This was some homemade paper that Kyung sent us. She sent me some and Tommy some. And this is like a little frame. There was some burlap kind of on these pages somewhere. A couple of them had like a burlap look. So I picked out a few colors and stuck in here. And this one went with the green that was in those little roses. Isn't that pretty? I put a few jewels on the front. That's why there's a few rhinestoney kind of things mixed in. Now, when I went to stamp this one, the stamp part of it did not work. So I put an actual stamp on it. Well, one that somebody sent me. So here's another bird cage. This is the second one that's in this kit. Second and only, you know. But I had these that I'd made a while back, and this is the only one that had the colors. Well, the bird happens to be looking at the bird cage, and I thought that was perfect. But the little girl, her card comes out, and you can write on the back of it. And you can see it was an envelope. Way back when it was an envelope. Okay. And then there's more of the Rach and Bella's. Now this is the other side, and I think it was a Tracy Fox freebie, but it had really, really pretty old music paper, which of course is kind of tied into a few other things that's in here. There's some more lace on the edge, and see you got a rhinestone heart on this page. And I thought because it had a scrolly design, I put the scroll stamp. Here is one of my glassine pockets that I made a while back. And it was just some scraps from some Stamperia. And I think Tommy had sent me all these rubble and flowers. And I got rid of all of them by making about 10 of these. And then I had a few little pieces of a Stamperia pad left over. So that got put in here too. And then these came from the Dollar Tree. I wish I could find some more of those. They're like a little plastic wax seal. I can't find them anymore. But I did print the pieces back here upside down, so that's why that page got that. And then the other one, where is it? I stuck something over here as well. Where is that? But it was upside down. I think it was this page. And whatever printed out was right over here, so I was able to cover it. Oh, see, that's what happens if you mess up printing or whatever. Try to cover it up. Now this here is the other part of this envelope back here. And I could never figure out what to do with the little flap part. I thought to glue it down and have a tuck. And I thought, no, I'm just going to kind of leave it. Well, the Rach and Bella has a really, really dark right here. And that's kind of why it went here. And then I decided to just put a little trim here. And I really like how that looks. It's got a little bit of rhinestone and chain decoration. I forget where I got that. I think somebody sent me something, Happy Mail, and I got that in it. And then I had a stamp that said affection, so I'll put that in here. I thought that went with the theme, the journal theme. Here's the other side that didn't get printed correctly. And I also did scorched timber on the edge of everybody. And then when I got to the center of the signature, I had this one ribbon that completely covered that. And I didn't want you to see. It was just like file folder, I think is what I put that on. I didn't want you to see it. We have these little tiny lacy balls that are from this trim that I put down. I really think that's pretty. Try to use small ones in here. There's some butterflies. This is something from Pink Monarch Prints. It was maybe a freebie or it was one of her digitals that I bought, and it was part of it. But it has something about envelopes and letters. So then I went ahead and just put like a postage stamp there to finish the decorating out for that. This is one of those, gosh, I can't remember her name now. Rachel at Roxy Creations. She did these one time. I loved them. I've made and made and made these things. It's got a little tag that's got like, you know, letter related kind of things in there. And it could be written on it. The whole back is white. But aren't those little ladies beautiful? And I just kind of put these together. They're one of my videos way back when. If I can find them, I will tag that at the end for you so you can see how to make these, because they are great. You just take one piece of 8.5 by 11 and fold it a few ways, and then you decorate it. Oh, and you can see that same trim. I used it right here. Here's another beautiful heart. Here is toilet paper roll art. So this was like princes in the Stamperia pads. And I had these few pieces left over. And I made them into like the decoration for the toilet paper roll. And I wanted something for this doily. I always think doilies are kind of blah. They need something. This one has a little flower trim on it. Real pretty little flower trim. And down here I did some stamping on this. This is my road gripper paper. I did a bird cage and a bird and enjoy every moment here and now. And then there is this pretty page. I loved how these all turned out. I hope I don't have it upside down, but I could. It looks like I do. Not that you would ever know. Now here is another one of the Roxy Creation thing. It was like you bumped up the focal point or something on this little pocket, and then you decorated it. But I also had made this a long time ago. It was a matchbook cover. It's got confidence right there, and then a couple of older ladies and old tea, coffee, and spices. And I think I got that from Scrapbooking with Me. And then this is like Tim Holtz paper. And then it has this letter related inside. And I got just kind of like strips of a bunch of scrap paper. That's all it is. Bunch of scrap. And then when you get to this end, it's the same as well. And I used 2 of these brads. And I think what I did was I just put the brads inside the legs, and then I glued it here for the little matchbook to work. But you can make these matchbooks any size you want to. And I thought that worked really well in this little pocket. Then some more of the Rach and Bella kit. I've stamped, this is actually 2 stamps. I used that bird previously and I didn't realize it. And then I stamped the flower to make it look like the branch went out. Some more of that lace. You can barely tell that that's upside down, but it is. Another scroll stamp. And here is my button pocket, the second one that I made. And it had a little bit of lace on it and pearls. I thought it fit perfectly. And then here is one of my queen cards. These were cards that I made, and I have some the Tim Holtz collage paper on the back. And I really enjoyed making those. They were freebies from Scrapbooking with Me. And I said, oh, I know what I can do. And that was as well for Valentine's Day. And then we have the center, which I thought this was a really pretty one for the center. I put a little lace there. It felt like it needed lace about every so often. Here's that other one that's sort of upside down. I put another one of my stamps on here. And more of the burlap. And you can see that big scroll here, so that works in. I like when it all works in. Now, I hadn't like a solid piece down here, so I put some script stamp. And some more trims. And heart. And I see more lace. It's just so pretty. Now, this one is also the same with the toilet paper roll. And you can write on that if you needed to. Plus, it's got some roses and pink, which will go with the next page down. And I really think that's my porch prints. This here is like the page or the pocket at the very front that I made with the roses. I made all of those at one point as well. And this was another freebie from Scrapbooking with Me. And Miss Keong, she sent me this. And I thought it would be perfect in here. And we have more burlap, another little butterfly, another butterfly, and this is another butterfly. I don't know if you remember me making these. That was like a couple months back, but everybody seemed to really enjoy those. And then I have this. It's just like a master board I made with all this spare stuff that Tommy had sent me. And I worked it into a tag, or a journal card, I should say. I think she really shopped Temu a lot. Here it's got Home Sweet Home, and I put a key underneath of it. And then that's it. I didn't do anything to the back. I just left it. But you can kind of see how it's got the washi there to hold the seam down. And then when you fold it shut, it does a really good job. I love that. I'm going to do that again. That's exactly how I'm going to make every one of these. And see, it doesn't wiggle. It's not wiggly like the other one was. So I really, really hope you enjoyed that. And you got some ideas on maybe something I did here. I'm trying to get my dangles to hang down. But thank you so much, all my subscribers and viewers. And come back and visit me again sometime. Even if you like this, give me a thumbs up. Thank you.